All right, so the first thing we're going to do is log in with our judge account. And as long as we've actually already accepted the invite to become the judge, we should be able to go to My Events and the Official tab. And this actually works on mobile too. On mobile, you'll actually just click the hamburger icon in the upper left and it'll pull open this menu and you can select My Events and Official. And like I said, as long as you accepted the invite, this should show up in the Official tab. And so we're going to go ahead and select the event that you're going to judge. And you can see that that's my account, I am the judge, and so I can go ahead and I can click judge to pull open the actual judging modal. And so you can see that we have our overall, which is essentially the summation of all of the workouts or the final place after all of the workouts. So if we actually pull it open right now, you'll see that basically everybody has a place sum of 0. There's 0 points. Now, this just means that these payments are processing. We just created these today, so they may be processing for the next couple hours. But if you just double click on it, it gets rid of that, and so you won't actually see that anymore. But you can see right now that we just have zeros across the board because we don't actually have any scores, right? So as we start to add scores, you'll see that change. Now, if we want to actually stick within the men's division, you can see the division is at the top here. So we could cycle between these two. It would actually change who we're going to be judging. But we can go back to men and we can say if we want to judge the first workout, the row, we're going to go ahead and open up that workout. And we're going to go ahead and look at the individuals within that division. Now, if we want to put Matt Barker's score in, we can go ahead and click this edit icon. It'll ask for a number of meters. Let's just say 5,000. You can actually add a public message if you want to that they'll be able to see. And you go ahead and click save. If you need to private message them, you can click the private message button and you can actually send them a private message as well. Now that public message will be shown to any athlete that goes and actually looks at that score. So make sure you're careful about what you put in that. But they will receive a notification that they've had a score entered. So they'll be able to actually look at it, and if there's any issues, they should be able to bring it up, and reach out to you if needed. Now, again, we can go ahead and we can actually go in here and obviously keep filling these all out. So 48.97, let's just say. And again, RX performed as prescribed. If you don't mark RX, or if you uncheck RX, I should say, it'll actually put their score on here, but it'll be gray and it'll be below all of the RX scores. So it's going to rank them below other RX scores. So that would be, scoring these particular workouts. Again, if you wanted to put another workout in, you can obviously click on that that workout. Now, if you want to score all of an individual's workouts or see all of an individual's workouts, you can actually click on that individual's name and it'll open up a modal with all of their workouts for that particular individual. So you can actually score from directly in here as well. So if you have the max weight deadlift, let's just say 405, go ahead and save that. And that's going to obviously be reflected in the score. So you can go down the list and score individuals one at a time. Again, if you want to send them a message, you can do so from there. Now, one of the final ways to judge would actually be by clicking these 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner. It'll actually pull up an unscored entries modal, which will show all of the workouts and all of the divisions that have yet to be scored. So again, this is a very large modal. I wouldn't recommend using this as your primary way to score, but I would do it in a way to check to make sure you actually entered all the scores. So you can see that we have a ton of scores still left. So if we were to essentially kind of go down this list real quick, we can say, weight in pounds, 355. And I'll say 455. Sean will say 395. All right, so that would be filling out those. Again, the squat, we'd be filling out reps, right? So let's just say, 35. 45, and so on. I'm not going to waste your time actually looking at all these in particular, but the point is that as these are actually entered, the list goes down, right? So we can see that we're missing a score from Rich for the row. So number of meters, let's just say 5,200. And it'll actually remove them from that particular score. You can collapse these if you need to start doing the women. So number of meters, let's just say 6,000. Crushed it. All right, so again, it will actually remove that score, and then once there are no scores left, it'll actually have none of this data left, and you'll actually see no entries unscored. So again, there's a ton of current things that aren't scored, so we're not going to go through all of these, but you kind of get the idea. Let's just do one real quick. You can actually see minutes and seconds here, and so you'll actually see a time cap as well. Now, if we do minutes and seconds, we can just put in 10. Let's just say, well, I think this is a 1 mile, right? So let's just do 6:30 for this. So we'll say 6:30, save. And it is going to be scored in minutes and seconds. And so let's go ahead and do one that actually is past the time cap. So let's just say somebody gets hurt and they don't actually finish before the time cap. So let's just say 16 minutes. And what we'll actually see is when we go look at this score, the run, it'll say 16 minutes, but when we actually pull up, this is the actual official judging modal. When we pull up the actual public leaderboard now and we go to this workout, it'll be cap plus 60, right? So that's essentially just showing that it was actually the cap plus 60 seconds. And again, you can actually pull it up. Cap plus 60 seconds, time cap was 15 minutes. If you click on it, it'll show you a little bit more of a detailed view as well. So that's essentially how it is reflected on the public leaderboard. And we can also see that we can go to the overall score and we'll see that there actually is, a particular winner for everything. And we have the play sum being updated based off of the scores in the other events. Now, if we want to actually have, let's see, if we have, if we go to the run and we give Rich a score here, so let's give him a score of 5:30. Now, if you have a tie, my guess is that we're not going to want to be breaking ties on the individual events, but if that is the case, there is a way to do that where we can actually break it automatically. Now, you can set this tie break order yourself. The lower numbers place higher, so it's essentially a place finisher. You can put first for first place, second for second place as far as tiebreak order goes, or you can actually break the tie automatically. And if you break the tie automatically, you have two choices. You have by workout or by finishes. By workout essentially just breaks the tie based off of a particular workout that you choose. So if you select this, it'll ask you to choose the workout of your choosing. But you can also do by finishes where ties will be broken based on the number of first place finishes in all workouts. And if there's an equal number of first place, it moves on to the number of second place finishes and so on. So we're going to go by finishes for this one. We're going to go ahead and click confirm. And before it was Matt was first and Rich was first as well, but now we can see that it's actually first and second. And if we go back into the edit, we'll see that the tiebreak order was automatically set. So if you do need to change this manually, you can. But the reason for this is because Matt actually has more first place finishes. So he actually has, I believe, 3 first place finishes. Yeah, so there's 2. And then I believe the third was the 5th one. So he has 3 first place finishes, so he actually wins the tiebreaker, and it automatically sets that. Now, again, we want to probably confirm in terms of whether or not you want to be breaking this tie at this level, because we will potentially be breaking the tie at the global level as well. So, again, that's how all of the scoring works. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot a message in the support chat or email me directly. Now, lastly, if we are past the actual end time of the event, there will be this submit results button here. Now, if this button does not exist, then it's most likely because the actual event is not over yet. So you have to wait until the actual end time of the event. We'll be making sure to actually set that end time appropriately. But for the most part, this button will not be here until after the event actually ends. So we have our event set to end now. So when we actually click submit results, it will pop this modal up. And once we actually click yes, you will no longer be able to change any of the scores. So this is a final decision. Do not do this until all of the results are in and finalized.